News. I'm your host, Tyese, and before I go any further, please make sure you download the Coyoteman Show Network on your mobile apps, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV. And you can watch us live at www.coyotemanonline.com/live. You can also watch previous shows at www.coyotemanonline.com/Tyese Show. And you can even watch on YouTube. Now, before we get into things, I want to introduce my illustrious guest today. He is a financial advisor, he's a massage therapist, and he writes songs about being both of those things.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We're going to get into all of that, and his name is Skyy Royal.
Thank you for having me. Thank
you
you so
are
much
so
for having
welcome,
me.
Skyy. Interesting name.
Thank you. So Skyy is what I go by. That's always been my nickname. Skylar is my whole name.
Okay.
And Royal is actually my last name. But I don't add the Johnson. So it's Skylar Royal -Johnson. That's my whole name.
Got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He gave us his government,
The
y'all.
whole government. It's out there now.
Yeah, exactly. No taking it back.
It's out there.
All right. But thanks again for coming on the show today. And you know how we do. We're going to get started with a hot news topic first.
Okay.
Not exactly new. However, there continues to be more added on with this topic.
Absolutely.
So I felt like I had to definitely cover this evening. Now, and this is about the 5 police officers, okay, that have been charged. They've been indicted.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for actually the death of a young man, Tyree Nichols, who was actually only 29 years old.
Wow.
And it was a traffic stop. The traffic stop should have been a routine traffic stop, but it was said that the traffic stop was because he was suspected of reckless driving.
Wow.
Okay, so not sure how valid the stop was.
Right.
One reason why I say that in itself is because I know I was stopped a few times and was never. And
a situation like that? No.
Oh my goodness! You get that question. I know. Come on, I know. I was stopped several times, and it was not a valid stop.
Most times, it's not. Yeah.
Nothing going on with like mechanically.
Right.
Nothing. No windshield. No headlights. No brake lights. No nothing.
Right.
Wasn't speeding. Didn't roll a stop sign. None of this. And then that question comes. Mm-hmm. Do you know why I stopped you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't. That was always my answer.
Same.
I really don't. As far as I know, I didn't do anything wrong. Why am I being stopped?
Right.
So I'm biased when I hear that the stop was because of possibly reckless driving. Well, where did that information come from? Like I really want to know. But unfortunately, at this point, it doesn't matter so much because it went so much further.
Right.
Have you seen any of the videos about?
Yeah. So I was on Twitter the other day and I saw. From what it seemed like they basically jumped him. I just saw the portion of the clip where it seemed like it was a video dash cam where one of them was grabbing them and then they literally was like 6 or 7 of them and they're literally beating upon him and they take turns hitting them, like ruthlessly hitting them. And it looked like something out of like a movie. The way that they were doing what they did, and it obviously didn't make any sense because he wasn't fighting back or anything. Like he literally was just taking it.
No,
like,
he
didn't
wasn't
do anything. So it was very painful to watch in that aspect because I don't understand how somebody could take aggression or anger on somebody and then not see them reciprocating that and still wanting to do that. I logically don't register with that. That doesn't make sense to me
and it wasn't logical. You know,
nothing about it is.
Nothing about it followed police protocol.
No.
Policy.
No.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
So we're talking about, I mean, each of these officers are at fault.
Completely.
Not one stood up and, you know, tried to
stop it.
You know, stop this. Mm-hmm. So he was tased.
Pepper spray.
Okay. Pepper spray.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Beaten.
Bad.
Like kicked. He was getting stomped.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this now, his you know, and they've talked to his mom. He's very close to his mom. Mm-hmm. She has spoken out, asked for peaceful protest that has happened. And I'm sure there will probably be a few more protests. Hopefully so. And the indictment charges are several.
As they should be. As they should be.
As they should be, of course. And now certain charges for the indictment, and this is how they came to mom and told her exactly what the 5 officers would be indicted for.
Right.
Second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, and official oppression.
What does that mean? Official oppression?
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that one before. Of course, official misconduct, but I had not heard of official oppression.
Yeah, I've heard of all of those things except for that.
Right.
That's weird.
Exactly. Me too. Now, another problem that I have with this is, I mean, of course, I can't put myself in Tyre Nichols' shoes, Absolutely. But I was trying to picture if 5 men went to stop me on what they call a traffic stop because of possibly I'm driving reckless.
Right.
Okay. Now, in addition to that, keep in mind that, remember, they weren't in regular police uniform.
Right. They were undercover.
Right. Okay. So you have their task force, I guess it could be called.
Right.
It's called Scorpion, which stands for Street Crimes Operations to Restore Peace in Our Neighborhoods. Now that is ironic. Oh, what is the irony in that? To restore peace in our neighborhoods? This was anything but peaceful.
And then to have the acronym of a scorpion, and scorpions are not peaceful. So it's kind of, to me, it sounds like a gang. And we have known that the police forces across the country, especially the LA police force and most big towns, have been basically gangs. It's very gang culture oriented. And I think one of the biggest issues I have with it all is the fact that the protest, I mean, obviously to bring awareness, but these are public servants. And for them to be public servants, we have, as the people, the biggest say in it, right?
We should, yes.
And a lot of us, I feel as though, don't necessarily take our power in the fact of that's something, instead of the protest, pull the money from these places. You know what I mean? Because of the simple fact that the money that's given to these organizations and stuff like that are not going towards the things they need to go to. They're going towards militarization of the police force, which obviously is being used towards situations like this and towards oppression. It's not towards helping people and guiding people into being able to be peaceful with one another. So people need to take responsibility and go to their local politicians and make it a big fact or a big focus that these people need to be out as soon as possible, and harsher notions need to take place naturally, as opposed to just smack on the wrist, the suspension with pay, or any of that. I mean, I feel like it should just be across the board. It should be the same thing. And it, it's, to me, I feel like it's very messy, very, very messy.
It is. And you have the division of, okay, we have black officers and we have white officers. Now, We have seen time and time again, and this situation puts you in the mindset of Rodney King, years ago.
Right.
But time and time again, you'll have white police officers
doing the same thing.
They do the same thing, and even after, like Tyree Nichols passed 3 days later. Okay.
Rest in peace.
Right, and my, our condolences to the family, and his mom. He suffered a severe enough beating that the bleeding is the cause, according to the autopsy, of his death. Okay. But where I was going with the black versus white officers is because typically if these were white officers, they would have been suspended with pay.
Right. And a long lengthy
pending
investigation. Right. I think my take on that is for somebody dark skinned and somebody who does who deals with people's bodies in such a vulnerable state, that I feel as though the black and white conflict, they need each other to exist. And I say that because the ideal of black and white are social constructs, and that's an unpopular opinion, but it's a fact. And that in order for the game to continue to be played and have these pulls and stuff like that, both parties or both groups of people feed into it, and it's ran by the system, right? And until people take responsibility for their individualism before their color, then a lot of the conflicts that we deal with miscommunication, with non-understanding, with not having the conversations, would be easier to have and easier to move forward if people look at themselves as individuals first. But no, I agree with you. I think it's obviously unfair, and it's obviously due to the system. But like I said, the bigger picture is that the system is a game, and the game needs to be played with people being to give permission for the game to be played. And I know it's not that cut and dry. I know it's not that in the gray area,
right?
And not that, it's very colorful, and there's a lot of factors that go into that for sure. But I say that because of my perspective of dealing with people of all different backgrounds, all different mindsets, and all different experiences, that people are people all across the board. And that's a very hard concept for people who delve into the color before the individual to really understand. That's what I realized. Yeah.
I hear you on the individualism. It makes me wonder what in the world could be going on with someone. I don't care, regardless of race, ethnicity.
Right.
What is going on with you individually that you come to work
hurt
and feel hurt?
Right.
Apparently you have to.
Absolutely.
Because hurt people hurt people.
Absolutely.
You come, it takes a special person. It takes a special person to be a police officer. And I mean to do the job as they are supposed to do the job.
Agreed. Yeah.
But to be a police officer and to come to work hurt by other things that are going on in your life.
Right.
Right. You have things going on mentally, emotionally, whatever your situation is.
Right.
Okay. And then you take that out on someone else. Yeah. I mean, you have some anger in you, and what is going on? Okay. Not good to come to work like that.
Well, goes back to...
And then at the end of the day, you don't go home because you are charged with the murder of someone.
Yeah.
No.
Like I said, that goes back to, like I was saying about the individual. The people that make the biggest impact, whether it be police officers, whether it be massage therapists, whether it be financial professionals, whether it be artists, are people that are individually themselves so they can do the job to their best of their ability.
Right.
Rather than just falling in line to the, the bullcrap that happens. But I agree with you also, though, in the simple fact that there's so many layers to the human experience that society, puts out of the way on purpose for people not to focus on and stuff like that, on top of going to such a high intensified, like dangerous, like you'll never know if you'll come home type of job.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I can only imagine what goes on in people's head.
Right.
I can only imagine, you know.
Well, we're going to take a break, and we are going to go to commercial, pay some bills, and then we'll be back. And hopefully you will be back as well.
Come back.
The Tyese Show News and News.
The Chemotep Foundation was inspired by my daughter being diagnosed with cancer. And through the pressures that my family went through, it's foundations like ours that offer resources that made it easier for us to manage the stress that a trial like this can bring. The Chemotep Foundation goal is to give support to families who have children that have been diagnosed with cancer, and to possibly bring a smile to a child's face.
Welcome back, the Tyese Show News and Ooze. And before we wrap up any last minute comments about the news, I want to make sure that you understand that you can go to www.coyotemanonline.com/Tyese Show. That is TYESE. Show, if you are interested as well in having your own podcast or being interviewed like Mr. Royal here, so we can promote you. Okay, if you are doing big things in the community, you are doing big things as an entrepreneur. Also, if you are a performing artist, because y'all know I love my creatives,
Yes.
you know, comedians, singers, rapper, author, I mean, whatever you, visual arts, you know, whatever your gifts, talents, skills, abilities you got going on, why not sit in this chair and let us promote you? All right.
I like that.
So
I like that.
We're going to get back to it now. I mean, any last minute thoughts on you know where this should go? We've seen, you know, there's a couple of videos out now, unfortunately showing the heinous, you know, nature of this crime.
I think at the end of the day, we keep going through the same situation, whether it be black police, white police. And for it to change, we have to do something different. And it's, again, individualism. The people have to take responsibility for actually wanting something done. We don't have enough people believing into their individuality that they themselves feel powerful enough to convince other people to feel their power in order to actually say something to people that actually can make a change and a difference. Because I'm not saying that people individually can't, but in order to actually push the energy and the mindset forwards to actually having change, you need to have more collective people who individually feel the same way to actually step up and say something about it. And that's the problem. We don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, you and I mentioned that training needs to happen, and more than and that's what I hear every time these situations happen, where someone is beaten by the police, even dies because of injuries, you know, sustained by the police, you know, then we always hear where they need to be trained more, you know, and my take on that is that that's just a minor part, of it. I do want to say, like I said, everybody cannot be a police officer.
Agreed. Agreed.
Just because you can pass a physical agility test,
most of them can't now.
You can pass the written test.
Right. Right.
It does not mean. Oh, and there is a psychological evaluation. It's and unless something's changed, at least here, the psychological evaluation is a good 600 to 700 questions.
Wow.
However,
I had no idea.
I'm gonna tell you. However, working in the mental health industry now, I would say there's plenty of people with problems that can pass the psychological evaluation.
Yep.
And not that there's a pass or fail. What it is it either looks good, on paper, or it doesn't, and they send you to a psychiatrist, possibly, or they say, you know what, no, because you aren't quite wrapped too tight. However, a lot of psychological evaluations have questions that are repeated. That's the point, because they want to see, are you going to change your answer? If I ask you this question 4 different ways, are you going to, but it's the same question, basically, are you going to change your answer?
Right.
Okay, well, a lot of us with common sense know not to, to answer the same way on question 2, and it's the same question worded differently on question 35. Right. In question 220, we know to give the same answer.
But you gotta acknowledge, though, that common sense isn't so common, though. And with that being said, when you're talking about the mental evaluation, I hear a lot about police officers that had past aggression issues, or they were one of those people that had power trips in their past experiences, whether it be at their jobs previous or their school experiences and stuff like that. And a lot of that stuff is bypassed, because we see a lot of these police officers that go out of their way to do these heinous things to people is because they have a lot of mental instabilities that, like you said, can be bypassed because of whatever things that they're specifically looking for. And if they know how to work the system within that situation, then, like you said, they can pass it.
Right.
And the problem is we see this so often of all these police officers who not really mentally fit to even be a police officer still be in positions of power. Not just police officers, but positions of power. We're talking about lieutenants. We're talking about chiefs. We're talking about sergeants. We're talking about people that actually have say in the rest of everything else that goes on in the police departments. And that's another problem that happened. And it's not just police, because I notice in massage jobs and all the jobs I've had, it's a lot of people who should not be in leaders of position or positions of power, leadership positions, like I said. And they are, and people know they shouldn't be there, but people still oh, okay, it's just what it is. It's tincture. They were here before me, so they get to say, and that's not okay. Everybody should be evaluated the same way.
Right.
And regardless of who's new, who's older, it goes by, mental capacity, mental stability, and all of that. But also, sadly enough, jobs are not made for leaders. Jobs are not made for leaders. Most leaders don't have jobs.
Right. Exactly.
So,
which is going to segue me into the portion of the show where we get to talk about everything that you are involved in and all of your entrepreneurial accomplishments.
Let's go.
Okay, so now
Yes, ma'am.
You are a leader.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, most definitely. And I own it. Most definitely.
I hear that. Okay. Now, but with that, so now massage therapy. Okay. Financial advisor. What are some other things that you're into?
So besides the music, fitness has been a huge deal to me in my life. I'll kind of give you a little bit of background. The reason why I got into massage therapy, I got into a really bad car accident on March 15th. No, this is the first one. That was a coma. July 2nd, 2011. I just graduated high school 2 weeks prior, and got into a really bad car accident, and the car flipped, and every time the car flipped, the window was down, and it dragged my arm, so it should have ripped my arm off. Wow. So fitness, had I not got into fitness the year before, I would indefinitely have lost my arm. So fitness has been a huge testament to just living a life of normality and to keep my head straight. And then, like I said, it saved my life. So that car accident led into massage therapy. After fracturing my left arm, I've never gotten massages or really was into massage prior. And funny that worst experience led into something so powerful that I'm doing right now. Then the coma. 2 years prior to that, I was in a coma. I was in a car accident that left me in a coma. It was March 15th. This is the one. March 15th, 2009. I was 15, and I was a passenger where I was in the back seat of a Jeep Wrangler, and a friend of mine who had just got his driver's license and his friend was in the front seat, the passenger seat. And Jersey drivers, I feel like East Coast drivers are very aggressive and don't really care, you know, how things turn out. As long as they get to where they got to go, they don't care how it comes out. Dude decided to take an illegal left turn to try to beat traffic and stuff like that. And as he did that, traffic let loose and we were hit about 60, 70 miles an hour on the driver's side. And we was in a Jeep Wrangler with the rollback top. And so since I was in the back seat, I didn't have my seatbelt on. I was thrown out of the vehicle like 30, 45 miles an hour, head first into the ground. So I was in a coma for 2 weeks. I don't remember any of this. I read the police report and heard the stories of, all the people that came to my hospital room. And I was on the morning announcements for, the whole time I was in the hospital. So there was a lot of love there. And that is what led me into music. So I woke up from the coma prior musically, didn't have any type of musical ability, and then woke up from the coma and had the ability to rap. Yeah. So I can attest to, and all of this happened before the age of 18. The first accident and the second accident, I got out the hospital for this fractured arm the day before my 18th birthday. So both of these car accidents happened before the age of 18. And now these two things that I'm very passionate about with music and massage therapy have come from those extremely traumatic experiences. And I look at life in a way of, if I can do it, if I can turn my biggest woes and my biggest problems into my biggest blessings in life, I feel as though everybody can do the same thing. It takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of effort, and it definitely, it takes focus and the want to actually change whatever is not good for you into something that can really be beneficial to other people. But if I can do it again, anybody is definitely capable of doing it. It's just you have to have a mindset to believe that you are.
Yes.
That's all it is. That's literally all it is.
Yes.
And so for right now, massage therapy, it'll be 10 years this year.
Congratulations.
I've been doing massage, thank you, since I was about 20 years old. And then I will be in the financial industry officially 5 years in April this year. And then last year was the very first year as being a full-fledged entrepreneur. Been able to buy my first apartment and pay for my rent with no job for the entire year. Just recently signed my second lease. So grateful, gratitude. Like gratitude is literally the reason why I do so well at both teaching people about finances and teaching people about their bodies, is because I am so grateful to do it. It's an opportunity. It's a blessing. It's a privilege. It's an honor. As opposed to like a job or something I have to do in order to get paid. And that's why the comment I said about jobs are not made for leaders, because in order to be a leader, you got to really enjoy and love and appreciate what you do and what it does for other people more so than anything else.
Right.
That's it.
Right. So what would you say are some key points to being a quality leader?
Oof. Great question. I think the number one focus should be patience. That has been a virtue that hasn't been the best for me in the past years. I would say maybe 3 or 4 years prior. But in these last 2 or 3 years, building a team of people, I have about 27 licensed agents in my business.
Okay.
And dealing with people, I have 419 5-star reviews on Google for my massage business.
Oh, right now 419.
Yeah, 5 stars. 5 stars.
Okay.
To be able to deal with people in their most vulnerable state of all different backgrounds, sizes, shapes, sets, all of that comes down to realizing that there's a formula to people. And the formula to people is everybody wants to feel comfortable. Everybody wants to feel appreciated.
Exactly.
And everybody wants to know with whatever they're dealing with or doing that they're dealing with somebody or something that obviously is a professional at what they do. You know what I mean? And once all those three things are hit, all you got to do is just do whatever it is that you do, whatever magic it is that you do,
right?
And it'll work out every single time. Because people are not complicated, even though everybody wants to feel like I'm so much different. Yeah, you are, because you're uniquely you. There will never be another you to exist, period. But the way that the masses are typically controlled is because people are not complicated. People move like people. You know what I mean? So, again, those are I would say the three things is to be, first of all, patient, loving and caring at all times, because people are going to be people. And with people comes chaos and discord, because that's how people can be. And then the third thing I would say is to love yourself, because the patience and the loving of people is only going to come from loving yourself and being patient with yourself. So those two things you are for other people, you got to be with you first and foremost to be able to reciprocate that to people. I would say that works out for that.
I love that. You know, the love yourself, the self-love aspect that you brought in. I could probably have 25 people sit here and only one out of those 25, 30, even 40 probably would have said that one aspect of being a great leader is to have self-love.
Oof.
You know, I like that, because you have self-love, and then that resonates onto other people.
Immediately.
You know, and you are completely in service-oriented industries.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
The massage therapy, the financial services industry. You know, so I say that today, unfortunately, the words customer and service don't always
mix.
Go together.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Absolutely agreed. And it goes back to the fact that most people who are in customer service jobs hate their job. If you are passionate about something, like, for example, what I do is difficult with massage. To be able to literally keep the same quality pressure, not have to have the person dictate what they need from you, to be able to give them what they need without them asking for it. You know, to give them that experience all the way through from the hour to the hour and a half to the 2 hours. I truly feel comes from passion. But somebody looking at it as a job that works at Massage Envy, they can't wait for that to be over, because they just want to get it, up and done. As opposed to somebody's passionate about it, they want to make sure, first of all, the reason why you came to me was because you felt comfortable enough. Second of all, now I got to match the comfortability you felt over the phone when booking me and talking to me, to now having that quality experience and let me do my magic, to afterwards now following up to see how it was. And if those things match, it's going to be a 5-star experience every single time. Every single time. I mean, nothing's going to be 100%, but majority of the time it will definitely be like that.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, I can see why you've gotten 419 5-star reviews.
Grateful.
You know, and what type of massage is it? Because there's, we've heard Swedish and deep tissue. And
I would say for me, I give the massage that I would want to receive. And I've yet to, we'll say recently I've received a few massages similar to mine, but it's very few people that put themselves in the person receiving the services point of view. Right? Which is the reason why most people don't have good customer service skills.
Exactly.
Because they don't care about how the other person feels. They just feel how they feel. And I don't care how you feel. Just take it or leave it. Right? My massages, I do more so medical-based massage. So I like dealing with people with medical issues, fibromyalgia. I've worked with people with broken bones. I've worked with cancer patients. I've worked with pregnant women. I work with a lot of pregnant women. I love pregnant women. I hope you're paying attention. I love working with women because of the fact of being a man, a black man, and the way that black men are perceived as being rough and aggressive and thuggish and stuff like that. And to be able to come in my beautiful dark skin tone and be able to give some of the most gentlest experience to people all over the place, you know?
Okay.
So yeah, medical massage. I do sports massage. I do a lot of energy work within my massages. So like a little bit of Reiki within my hands.
Reiki, yes.
I also do a lot of stretching. I do a lot of effleurage and petrissage. So very soothing techniques. I do lymphatic drainage massage. I
heard of that recently.
Work with a lot of women who get the 360 liposuction surgeries and the BBLs and stuff like that. I work with plenty of women like that.
Okay.
And all of that comes down to, again, being patient. In order to give a quality massage, you can't force yourself into giving the massage. You have to let the body give you the access to give the massage. And that's the reason why I have to coach people through breathing, because people don't know how to relax. Majority of people are not so much fixated, but in a state of automation because of having a job, because of having a life, because of having kids, because of going through the notions of life, that they forget how to actually relax. So they have to be guided. They have to be taught how to breathe. Most people don't breathe correctly. They breathe with their chest rather than their stomachs. So the more you get them to breathe, the more their body just relaxes, whether they want to or not.
You got me. You got me cognizant now about how I'm breathing.
No, you don't notice until somebody brings it up to your attention too. Exactly. It's really wild. But just making sure that they are able to receive it before I give it is the most important thing. Because there's a lot of therapists that'll try to do the deepest work and and try to force their way into it. And first of all, I know how I would feel if somebody tried to dig into my lower back with their elbow because I got a bunch of tension, which I probably do. And instead of asking me, how does it feel, or can I breathe, and just be a little bit slower with the stroke, you know what I mean? That's one of the differences too. But I absolutely love what I do. I'm grateful for it.
And I know exactly what you mean, because I actually used to have a membership at Massage Envy. I had the membership for almost it was about 2.5 years.
Okay.
And I went through five massage therapists.
Wow.
And I would say one was great, 3 were average, and 2 I wouldn't give the word bad. It was just like you said, it wasn't the touch that I needed.
Absolutely.
It was like, because that like you said, that elbow, all that deep I can't take that deep tissue.
Yeah.
You know, some people can. I'm not one that can.
I agree.
It does not. No, not at all.
I agree.
And I had to. The experience I would say was okay. It could have been better because it would be like the person that I really, really did like, they ended up leaving.
That's what happens.
So again, because it's a job for them, and they may have left to pursue being 100% self-employed, and that would have been great, but anyhow, the experience on the customer's end is that you don't know who's going to be there the next time you come to get your massage. Is Kyle that gave you this great relaxing massage, and music all going and everything, and you just ended up in this like trance. Is he going to be there or is he going to be gone? Right. You don't know.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
And so now what I want to do is go into the financial services aspect of your career.
Most important.
Okay, so now you are. Is it? You said you're now self-employed. So how long have you been completely, self-employed, where you are, you don't work for anybody?
2022. Beginning of 2022 is from up until then until now has been the first year I've been able to completely, between my massage business and working with people and setting up policies, to be able to afford my rent. And my rent isn't cheap. I pay about $1,300 a month. Okay. And I enjoy it. I'm grateful for that fact. So going into the financial services portion of what I do, it actually built my massage business. I got into massage at 19, turning 20 to be able to not have to work for somebody, right? I've only been able to accomplish that behind being within this amazing office. The office I'm in is one of the top offices in the entire financial industry. And The CEO is only 34 years old. Him and his wife are in business together. And last month they made about $70,000, only worked 8 hours.
Excuse me.
Yes.
They worked 8 hours.
8 hours.
Not 8 hours a day.
8 hours.
They worked 8 hours.
The entire month.
Okay.
For $70,000. And the biggest reason on why I got into business was from my mother. My mom is ex-military, and that's another reason why I got into massage therapy within, doing this, because my mom is ex-military, 20-something years, retired Air Force, and she didn't retire though. Go mom! But mom didn't have any type of education on setting up long-term savings or actually a retirement account. Hence the reason why I grew up seeing her work for UPS and FedEx, and then eventually get her job that she has now working for the USDA. And I've realized that if that's what working hard is, and I come home miserable and I'm taking out my frustrations out on the people nearest to me because I'm just, I hate my job and I'm just not happy where I am, I don't want to work hard if that's working hard. And if that's what being getting a job is, count me out. You know what I mean? Because in my experience of working for jobs, it's been like that. Talking about working for Massage Envy, the only time I've ever questioned massage being for me out of all 10 years so far has been working at Massage Envy. I swear. But I digress. Going back to the financial situation, I got into the industry for her, and I'm so grateful because earlier last year we rolled over her retirement into something secure where she'll never lose another dime in her retirement again. And when she pulls her money out, she'll get paid for the rest of her life. So if we hadn't gone about it in the way that we do it, very unorthodox educational approach, and then charged her, she would have never sat down to begin with. So we educate, we're financial educators. That's why I would rather use financial professional rather than financial advisor. Because a financial advisor is here to advise you on a specific product or service, as opposed to a professional, like what I do a massage. I'm not here to sell you on a massage. I'm here to sell you on an experience. There's a difference. And the experience, part of the experience is the massage.
Right.
And when we sit down with anybody, we tailor it to their specific needs. So we go about it in a way of getting to know the person, getting to know who they are, what they have, what their goals are, what they find important to them in life. And then after we educate them, we literally go through their finances, go through a financial needs analysis, and then see what we can do to plug whatever holes in their boats so they can get to their retirement. And since, again, money is such a huge deal to everybody. I mean, we're seeing what's happening with Google right now. We're seeing what's happening to the top companies that's laying off people like by the thousands, the tens of thousands. Right. That everybody's struggling with money some kind of way. Right. And the only way to really get your stuff straight is to sit down with somebody that can educate you on what to do, in regards to securing your money, in regards to knowing how these accounts work, in regards to if you're going to get to retirement, you can't save towards retirement. You have to invest to it. There's no way to save towards retirement. You can only invest into it because if we look at the dollar right now, the $100 in the 1950s is like $75 now because of inflation. So even if we went about the route of grandparents stashing money in a pot or a piggy bank or in a mattress, that same $100 they would have saved, or the same amount of money they would have saved, would have went down in value over time. So they still couldn't save for retirement even if they wanted to.
Makes complete sense. Wow. All right, so we're going to go to commercial break, and we're going to be back. Come back with us, and you will be schooled more on financial education. Tyese Show News and Ooh. See you in a minute.
The Chemotep Foundation was inspired by my daughter being diagnosed with cancer. And through the pressures that my family went through, It's foundations like ours that offer resources that made it easier for us to manage the stress that a trial like this can bring. The Chemotep Foundation goal is to give support to families who have children that have been diagnosed with cancer, and to possibly bring a smile to a child's face.
Welcome back to Tyese Show News and Ooze on the Coyoteman Show Network. And I'm back with my guest, Skyy Royal, who is a massage therapist, also a financial services professional. I changed
it. You got it.
Changed the title. Okay. But also is heavy into music. Now, before I go into the music, I would like for you to let the audience know each of the services. I mean, if you can, but at least, you know, maybe 4 or 5 of the services that you offer as a financial professional.
Okay.
I hear the retirement and what else you got going on?
So we are a brokerage. We work with over 200 different companies. So the reason why we go about an educational approach is because since we deal with companies that deal with debt management, companies, you know, like Nationwide, Transamerica, Vanguard, we work with the top of the top. So whatever services and products that they offer for people, they teach us. So therefore, when we sit down with clients and go through their finances based off of whatever, you know, makes sense, and we have the knowledge of the products and services, then we can go out and give whatever specific product and service fits their needs. So we do estate planning, we do college funds, we do 401ks, we do pretty much everything under the sun dealing with money. It just comes down to whatever it is that you're looking for is the main thing. We're not here to sell you. We're here to educate you and create a plan for you. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that because in that respect, it's customized.
Exactly.
Okay. It is not this cookie cutter. Here you need X amount of dollars when you retire, so this is what we say that you should do.
Exactly.
You know,
that's the advisor portion of things. We're advising you this is what you should do, as opposed to this is what's going to happen if you don't do this, and if you do this, this is what's going to happen. We literally educate you and give you
the education.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. But all custom.
All customized.
I like that.
All customized.
I like that. Okay. Now, the music. Because I'm gonna tell y'all when I first talked to Royal, look, I'm calling you by your last name.
That's okay. I get that a lot. I get that a lot. They call me Royal, Skyy, Mr. Oil, whoever. I own it all.
You know, I went to high school with a Skylar.
Oh wow.
Okay, and I worked with a guy whose last name was Royal before.
Really?
Wow. You know, so that's second time I heard it.
Connections.
You know, 6 degrees of separation, I guess. But so you know, and you said to me that both the massage you know, industry and being in financial services is like the foundation of the music.
That's exactly it.
You know, and you write songs about it. Okay, so tell us more about that.
So going back to how great, so Tenacity. If you guys haven't checked this out, I have a bomber jacket. This is Tenacity. Team Tenacity is the name of the office I'm in. Tenacity, like I said, helped me build the foundation for what Royal King Touch is today. So I want to give Jay and Ronnie and everybody on the team credit for that. And the team I've built, you know, I want to list everybody's name. But in 2019, we came back from one of our annual conventions, and bro, Like when I tell you, first of all, it's one thing to hear that you're one of the top teams. It's another thing to see the numbers, and it's another thing when you go to the events and everybody knows you. I've never been a part of something so vast that, oh, I'm part of your team. Oh, you're part of that team? Oh my God. Like, never been a part of anything like that. So seeing, that was my second convention, seeing that, I'm like, yo, like if Jay can do that with tenacity, I can do that with Royal King Touch. So I got verified on Google. I made a decision, got verified on Google. My aim was to have 55-star views by my birthday, July. So it gave me 7 months. It was in January.
Okay. By
the time July hit, I was at like 110. And then by the end of the year, I was at like 150. And in the midst of that, going through that process, was when I created the idea to be able to rap about massages and rap about finances, because I've been doing music as a hobby. This is my first car accident since 15, 16, so about 17 years old. Okay. And like I said, making a decision on creating Royal King Touch, I made a decision on really starting to take my artistry more seriously. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna make a song, a whole mixtape about massage therapy, and I'm gonna make a whole EP about financial literacy. And wow. I'm so grateful I did that, because now I'm confident in the fact that, first of all, nobody's making songs about it. Nobody's making quality songs about it. And with the way that hip hop and rap is going right now, this is very unheard of. So,
well, that's another show in itself.
It's a whole other show in itself, for real. But no, I just really am grateful that I'm able to use the things I'm passionate about outside of the financial industry to connect the dots with things in the financial industry and as well as outside of the financial industry. Because everything is connected, in my personal opinion. The reason why people don't get massages or look at it as an importance is because, first of all, they have the viewpoint of it being a luxury, and anything luxurious is costly.
Right.
And people are looking at the cost of things in the hourly wage that they get at their jobs. So with that being said, most people won't see the value in getting massages, just like most people won't see the value in having somebody look over their finances, because it's costly, because it's something that you have to take time and effort into. It's something that is not just going to come to you. You got to go and find it. You got to go and look for it. You got to go and want it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But let me give y'all a little rap real quick.
No, you didn't, because you know what was funny? You know what's funny? I was sitting here thinking, I was sitting, look, he got me. Because I was sitting here in my mind, I said, I can't wait until he finishes on this point, because I'm going to throw it on him that you can't come here and not drop some bars. Like, you can't. And I'm a poet, so I want to hear bars all day.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the massage song that I usually like to perform is called Modalities. Modalities is a beautiful thing. Modalities is the different type of massages or type of massage techniques you can use in a massage. So it's like this. Hands on the body. Watch me get deep. I'ma need you to take a deep breath while I speak. Close your eyes and relax to my speech. Don't sweat nothing, don't sweat the technique. Been doing this for years, I'm past the level of pro, so don't show less you got money to blow. Let your body go limp, express the technique. First I'ma do a little bit of deportment to loosen up your body, and then we'll focus. Aligning the meridians, the ones I've chosen. Your body is so off, and I hope you've noticed. Relax with the lavender, cause it's so potent. Aromatherapy, and it'll get you open. Draining lymph nodes to areas stagnated, moving blood flow. When I know the toxins hate it, get you massage drunk and pure relaxation. Healing's in the pressure, feelings in the process. Stress turns to fuzz and you really don't want that. That'll get your whole body locked in. Imprisoned to the level that you're diminished. Your fashion and your vibes, and most importantly your chakras. Surgery not needed, I'm better than your doctor. Got what you need, the Royal King Touch. Got trouble areas, I can help with that. I swear my 5-star rating's worth all of that. The time and the effort I put into my craft. Manipulation to the muscles I grab. So hands on some hot stones, let me soften your back. Slower strokes, deeper breaths, keep you relaxed. These facts, pure relief, keeps them coming back. Let's go. Let's go.
Look, I'm gonna have to hear. Look, That was bars for real.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
thank
yes.
You.
I heard all. Look, I'm sitting there picturing myself getting a massage and just saying it because I'm like hearing all. Yeah, I'm hearing all of these key points that you hit. Like I said, I don't even know how many professional massages, So I'm hearing all these things. I like, I'm better than your doctor.
Yes.
I like all that. You definitely did your thing. Definitely. I want to hear it. I want to hear it with music.
Yes.
With the music behind it.
Yes. I got you.
You send that to me.
I got you.
And I'll blast it out there for you.
I got you.
Yeah. I want to hear that with the music. I'm sure it's hot.
One of the next things I do want to do is give y'all a little bit of financial bars. That's cool.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's talk about the way we've been taught versus the way that they move with the money. I'm tired of all of these lames thinking it's all cool, showing them blowing all the money. I want to be flashy as what and still be saving all my money, because you could turn up in the club too after you save half your money. Having the mindset of balling on a budget is flexing, while saving all your money is nothing. We turning nothing into something. We manifest everything. So it's lovely. Matter of fact, what I really mean is, where are you putting all your money? Are you educated on how money works? On a serious tip, it's a mentality before an actual manifestation. When you condition your mindset like rich dad, no poor dad, that's no swag, so whack. Everything comes with a price tag. Invest into your future, cause that's what everybody wants. But few get a chance to truly retire, and that's a shame, and it'll make you wonder. Start from a young age, cause the old you will love you. And that's always been the mission. And kick it until then it's finished. That's it.
I love it.
Thank you.
All right, well, Mr. Royal, please tell everyone how they can follow you, get in touch with you.
Ooh. Okay, so if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, Royally Tenacious, ROYALLYTENCIOUS, Tenacious. No. TENACIOUS.
Yes.
Tenacious. Good God.
One thing I definitely did well in school
is the spelling. And then I ain't do it right.
I don't want a couple spelling bees
and
now.
Then so my branding is on the hat. It's on the hoodie as well. Royal King Touch. You can either have spaces in there, or you can put it all together. But I would like you guys to hashtag Royal King Touch. If you search that on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, a lot of my video reviews will pop up. My physical written reviews will pop up. Right. A lot of my music will pop up. A lot of my freestyles will pop up. I made sure to interconnect everything. So therefore, that branding is mine.
Well, guess what? Then I'm going to make sure I hashtag Royal King Touch.
Yes.
Royal King Touch. All right. I got you.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. I've thoroughly enjoyed you being here.
I enjoyed myself. I really did. And I had a spectacular, time just with the fact of the intellectual conversation. And most people, they just don't think like this. So I wanted to say thank you so much for having a platform for people like myself.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, it's what I enjoy doing, and I love providing you all and even myself with resources, and not just the educational but then also the resources. You all know, if you're watching every week, which you should be, that the tagline is what we do for therapy. However, remember that self-love, as we talked about, includes making sure that we have overall health, which is in 5 different pillars of health, which is mental health, emotional health, physical health, financial health, okay? And why am I forgetting one?
I was going to say spiritual health.
Spiritual health.
There we go.
Oh Lord.
That's the biggest one. That's the biggest one.
What I should have done was say them in order. How about that?
But no, the spiritual is the last, so the last is the most important.
Hey.
Say the best for last.
There you go.
And rooted to all of those 4 things before the 5th is going to root to having a strong spiritual health. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
There you go. You heard it. You heard it from Skyy Royal. So thank you for coming to the Tyese Show News and Ooze this Sunday. We will be back next Sunday, 6:30 p.m. as we are each and every Sunday, Eastern Time. Thanks. Tyese Show News and Ooze on the Coyoteman Show Network. Okay, cool. All right, time.